Hickok 45 here. Another single shot endeavor. Yeah, Ruger No.1. We've done one or two of those, but not one this pretty, I guess. Oh, the 375 was a nice one. This is the medium sporter, and it's chambered in 338 Win Mag. You might recall we have done at least one video on 338 Win Mag, and I have always liked that cartridge. Big, powerful, and fun. Even though I don't hunt, isn't that something? Well, yeah, let me show you where it came from, kinda. Look at those three. You can't really tell any difference, can you? Yeah, almost the same case, except one of them is a 458 Win Mag. One is a 375 H&H, and then this is the 338 on the bottom. Okay, they all have their lineage goes back to the 375 H&H case, really. I think the same year, it was 1958, I believe, that was the birth of the 458 Win Mag, the 264 Win Mag, and the 264 and the 338 Win Mag, yeah. And they were based on that same case of 375 H&H. I think it came out at like turn of the century, 1900, 1907 or something like, maybe I'll look that up. But it's been around a long time. And now they're blown out, and there's different shapes. But you can see the same case head and the belted Magnum and all that, the belted case. And that wasn't for power, because it was to contain the extreme power or anything. That was to let the case head space in the chamber, is what that was about. Okay, and still have, without having a rimmed case. Okay, that's what that was about, just to feed better and not have to go to a rim case like a, I don't know what, 30-30 or something like that. 30-30 rimmed? Yeah, kind of rimmed, yeah. So, anyway, that's the cartridge, 338. Got some horsepower. It really does, and many of you are very familiar with it. You hunt with it or whatever. It's a really nice, all-around, powerful, medium, I guess, game. I almost think of it as big game in terms of deer or anything. I mean, not gigantic, dangerous game, but it can be used for about anything. But it's a wonderful cartridge, and I just liked it when we did the Ruger Scout, I think. And I thought, I wouldn't mind have this actual gun or something chambered in this sometime. I'm insane, really, right? It's pretty interesting. I don't even hunt, and I bought a 338 Win Mag, because I like to plink with large, powerful cartridges sometimes, So, and I've wanted I kind of have wanted a Ruger No.1. I've never been desperate for one, but I like single shots, as you know, and it just, I don't know, I thought, you know what, I was really looking for actually something in 338, browsing around, thinking about that, and I ran across a Ruger No.1 online in 338, and I thought, and it was pretty. I said, you know what, I could kill a couple of birds with one stone here. I could get me a 338 in a rifle I should own. I feel guilty for not having ever owned a Ruger No.1. I apologize for it, but that's what I've got. Let me shoot it. I'll show you. It actually works. Let's put one of these big bullets in there. Look at that elk on the side. That's pretty, isn't it? All right, Ruger No.1. Now this one is semi-automatic. It's a little different. So I'm going to double tap, let's double tap that bowling pin and then hit that red container. Oh, I guess I can't. Am I ever going to wear out that joke? Let's shoot one more time. Oh, that's the 375. Let's move that on out of the way. Let's get some ammo here. Okay. I had a little bit. All right, now let's shoot that thing. I don't know what it'll do. I guess that's what it did. Nice. I just thought since we had a little power today, why not have a little fun with that, okay? We'll shoot across the hill too. So isn't that pretty wood? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I was just looking around and I thought, Ruger No.1s they're just really nice firearms. I've got the sharps out here for a different reason, just to show you the bolt and everything, how it's similar. But I've always liked single shots, and now it happened to be an NRA commemorative. It's 136 out of 550 celebrating the 125th year of the NRA and all that kind of thing, which some of you wouldn't want to buy it, right, for that reason. But I don't care. It's a beautiful gun. It was never fired. So somebody bought it because it was a commemorative and put it away. And I mean, there's not a nick on this thing. And actually, I would prefer it to be a little used, so that doesn't appeal to me. And even the collector's value, if there is any, there may not be any collector's value. We're not too happy with the NRA lately, are we? Maybe I'll Dremel that off, or maybe they'll come back around and we'll be proud of it. It doesn't matter either way. What I wanted was a pretty Ruger No.1 N338 Win Mag, and I found it in the configuration I liked. Okay. Commemorative or not, or all that doesn't really matter to me, but it's a beautiful gun. Someone said they're a masterpiece of simplicity, and I thought that's a pretty good line. Dave Campbell, in an article I saw, that was his name, I think, so I would give him credit. But a masterpiece of simplicity. Of course, any of us might have said that very same thing, right? Because they're pretty, they're well made, their reputation for being strong. And guess what? Newsflash. A single shot rifle is usually pretty simple, right? Simplicity. So that's what it is. Okay? Yeah, I'm pretty lame. I can't build a gun. Yeah, his was, the Highwall, the 1885, a single shot rifle was the first firearm he designed, right? But there's something special about single shots. The masterpiece, again, of simplicity. And it doesn't have to be beautiful. But a single shot is, many of you know, and others don't because you never fired a single shot. But hunters, I've seen writings of hunters, people who hunt, and I don't even hunt, but have talked about that at length. They're just something really special. And for those of you who are new to the firearms world, you're young maybe, again, I don't hunt, but I know a little bit about it. Which shot is probably the most important and maybe the only shot you get? Yeah, the first one. Wasn't that brilliant? And so you might look at a single shot like this as pretty lame. Wow, why would you hunt with that? What are you going to do for a follow-up shot? Well, most of the time, if you're a hunter, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the time, like the overwhelming percentage of the time, I would guess, you're not going to need a follow-up shot if you're a good hunter, right? And you know what? I'm going to hunt something too today. Somebody put a red container over there on the barrel. Now this cartridge is supposed to retain a lot of energy and be pretty accurate at distance, so that's not all that far, but I'm gonna shoot that thing anyway. Let's see if it'll blow it up. Now it leaked some of the water out, so it may not blow like that one did. It's some other kind of weird kitty litter container. If I can hit it. All right. Hey, I just like to shoot water. That's fun. Yeah, this thing is nice. I'm not sure. It is odd that I have never owned one, isn't it? We've done a couple. Did one in, let's see, 375 H&H, and then one in 450 Bushmaster. I think a newer one. Because I've been a fan of single shot, going all the way back to my early days of 1974 of muzzleloader interest, and then I have seveal single shots. We need to do a last single shot I'd ever sell, right? From rolling blocks, sharps, trap doors, high wall. I just really enjoy them. They're fun, and they're special in a special way, and I really do feel remiss, and I owe you a lot of apologies maybe for never having owned one, although I brought you a couple. But I don't know. I tell you why I know what my problem has been before I go too far. Check them out. The reason, as I load it again, is I've had a mental block against it because it's not a replica like that one is over there of a Sharps, 1874. This one, I always looked at it more, it's something Ruger came up with, just like other firearms, that, just a new design that's a little bit like an old one, but not really a copy of anything. And, because there's so many cool rifles back through history that you can actually go buy and still shoot, or there are replicas made of them, exact replicas of them. And so you really do feel like you've got a piece of history. You know, if you've got a high wall or something, I've got a Uberti high wall, and it's a pretty close replica of what John Browning made and designed and everything. Whereas this one, you know, I thought, well, what is this one? You know, this is some weird hybrid, you know, it's cool. I've always liked it. Well, I've learned a little bit more about it over the years, that it is kind of a replica of what is the Farquharson, I think is how you pronounce it, one way to pronounce it, the British single-shot rifles. I think it was patented in Scotland, 1872, and it was the falling block. It was very popular, and this is kind of a replica of it, really. And there were, I think, maybe only 1,000 or so of that one made, but there were others like it. And so, you know, and this really is in keeping with what that thing looked like, and some of those British single shots with the falling block. And you know, now so you know, I kind of I'll say lost my animosity, my disgust. No, I actually have come to appreciate it a little bit more over the years. I'm just a history snob. I can't help it. Now, they on the Farquharson and those rifles, they though copied, I guess, the you know, I think the now I'm not going to say it definitively with any authority for sure, but the old Sharps design, you know, the falling block, it goes back. Let's see. Now this is the 1874, of course, the cartridge guns, but you know, it goes back into what, 1850 something, I think. I forget what the model is of the first Sharps rifle, what year that was, where it was percussion, you know, and all that, but the same action and everything, you know, the falling block and all that. So it goes way back, even before the Farquharson and those. And I think that's where they got the idea. So a great action, as we know, really strong. This thing is very strong. It's chambered in everything you can imagine. I mean, I might be repeating myself from some of those earlier No.1 videos. Maybe I'll link to those, but I really didn't even look at them. I'm not sure what all I shared with you. But since I have my own, I think I've learned a little bit more about them, and I'm a little more, even more interested in them, perhaps. But it was designed by a couple of Ruger's designers, Harry Seafried and I think Larry Larson. They're supposed to be some of the top designers for Ruger at the time. And a fellow named Leonard Brownell. And I don't know if it's the same family of the Brownells in Iowa that we all know and love. But he was a stock designer and designed the stock for it. And I also read that he tried to blow one up, and just couldn't do it. They're very strong. That's the thing about the falling block. You see how it works. I've shown you on the Sharps before. Of course, you got that big block of steel comes up after you put the bullet in and locks in. So, and you got your Morses there, so it's strong. I mean, just everything is chambered in these things. You look at the list, and it'd be easier to come up with something that's not in it, and I'm not sure if there is anything. I saw one online a fellow had that was chambered in a 7.62 by 39 AK round. I thought, what? Yeah, so you name it. Let's shoot it again. You want to? And this is if I didn't say that already, the medium sporter. I think there are so many different models, and it took me a while to even figure that out, but I think this is the medium sporter. There's a tropical that's in even bigger calibers, and then some others, I don't know, varmints or whatever. So they're in all different sizes, lengths, and stock configurations. I think this is the Henry 4N on this one. You all that know more about them. This one, now this goes way back into history. This is really historical. This Limb Saver pad. I'll take that. I'll let you take a look at it. Isn't that pretty wood? You can see why I was attracted to this thing. It's just basically right off the line. It was made in, now this run of commemoratives was in 1996, but now this one, according to serial number, it's one serial number less, literally one number less than where they started in 96, so it was actually made in 95 according to my research, but it's right at the end, you know. So it's basically 95, 96, and so beautiful wood, beautiful gun in the caliber I was looking for it. So that's why I own it now. Okay, it's sweet. And it kicks a little bit, I have to say. But that's what I like. That's why I wanted it. I'm going to pop that red plate over there. Boom. Hits it hard. Hits it hard. Yeah, that's sweet. Of course, I just got the metal sights on it. I won't put a scope on this thing. Nah, probably won't. I mean, if I were a hunter, maybe I would. Let me make sure. I got all these bullets out here to show you the cartridges. Yeah, I didn't. So right here we have, where'd that 375 H&H go? There it is. Yeah. Just again to show you the size comparison. Here's a 7.62 by 39 AK round. Here's a 5.56, and then your 458 Win Mag there, the big fat one. Then this one on the left is the 375 H&H, and then again here's the 338 Win Mag on the left. So you get an idea. You see how those cases are all the same at the head, and it's just a little shorter on that. So lots of room for powder and power, right? So pretty cool. Let's shoot some things. I didn't really mess with the sights much other than tighten them up. They're a little loose. Yeah, I don't want to destroy everything. I'm going to try that plate in the middle. I think the sights are about on. Hard to see. Yeah, that's liable to just tear it up. Oh boy. Do you think it'd go through a 2-liter? These are expensive to shoot, I'll tell you. So if you're thinking about one of these, just be aware of that, okay? Let's see what it'll do to a 2-liter. Oh boy. How about that one right there? It's just immediate disintegration. I didn't even see where the plastic went. Usually you can see it flying or coming back at us or something. Yeah, let's see, anything else you were dying to know about it? There is some history with some of the calibers that maybe they weren't the most accurate rifle ever made, just so you're aware of that. That's out there. I'm not sure which years and which models, which calibers necessarily, but something about the bedding or lack of bedding or how they're put together. As far as driving nails and groups and that kind of thing, but they're plenty accurate, for the intended purpose. And they come in, again, you can give them 458 Win Mag. I've come close at gun shows. I've run across one in 458 Win Mag or like 375 H&H. I've come close on that one. I really have. But ever since I discovered this 338 Win Mag, I've just kind of liked it. It's not too much, but although a lot of people say that it actually is snappier, it hits you harder in a lot of ways than the 375 H&H. It's more of a push, and I don't know. When I was shooting a lot of 375, I had a 458 also, and that's the way I compared them. The 375 seemed really snappy to me. And then the 458 was more of a push, but yeah, I don't know. They're all big. They all have some power. Yeah, they really do. And they're fun. They are fun. If you like power, I know a lot of you do, you would like this. I'm going to smoke some pot with one. Yeah, I think it will go through that. It definitely will. Maybe we'll do a chapter 2 sometime and do a bit of a penetration test. I don't know what we'd use, like maybe 22 Plinkster's house or something. We need to shoot through something big. All right, we got a 5-gallon bucket here. Look at that. Oh man. I noticed the safety is kind of odd. It has to be cocked to put the safety on, or the lever all the way down. It's kind of weird. If it's not cocked, you cannot engage the safety unless the lever's down, which would mean it's cocked. I was wondering if I could move up here and get both those with one shot. Let's do that. Let's move over here. Yeah, I'll save a bullet. Kind of expensive. All right, got them lined up. I'm going to shoot the 2-liter in the gallon jug back there if I can. Yeah, I saved a bullet. I saved some money there. Now, let's take out that 5-gallon jug or bucket. Oh boy. That, that is dramatic. I'm not sure there's much we've shot, John, that that does better than that. I'm so worried about grabbing a 375 H&H round, but guess what? It wouldn't chamber. I don't know why I'm worried about that. Or the 458 Win Mag. Oh boy. I don't want to destroy my animals. Let's take out another 2-liter here before we go to that jug. Boom. Got him on the bottom, I guess. I'll get that brass. Who knows? You never know what you might be hand loading someday. Just don't know. Is there anything else you want to know about it before I shoot that last jug here? Boy, it's beautiful walnut. It really is. You know, and you know, again, the NRA business, it doesn't bother me one way or the other on that. I couldn't care less, really. I'm not interested in collector's guns and special serial number ranges and all that sort of thing. I just am interested in the firearm, at the, you know, the price, the caliber, the cartridge, chambering, and all of that I'm interested in. But I shoot them. You know, there are people who do that. I'm not making light of you or fun of you. There are so many people, and really, I'm glad you do it, because the rest of us kind of benefit from it from time to time, like I did on this firearm, who will buy a firearm new, and maybe it's commemorative of something, maybe it's not, in a special edition in some way or not, and just put them away, never fire them, and just keep them in good shape for years, for decades. You know, that's what happened with this one, I guess. And that's cool. Maybe they appreciate a lot of value, maybe they don't, but either way, that's why you go to an online auction or around, and if you are willing to pay, you can find almost anything in really good shape. You know, somebody has collected it, and just because a lot of people, as you know, buy guns and don't really shoot them much, or shoot them at all sometimes. All right, breaking in. I think my last box here. Let's take a couple more shots. Now these are that was 200 grain trophy bonded. Okay, trophy bonded. I should be hunting with these, right? Instead of out here on the range. Oh boy, those are pretty big rounds. About to roll away on me. Okay. One of these ought to take out that jug. Now, one thing you can do, you know, if you're, let's see, what's the best way to do it? I'm usually not in a firefight and have to be concerned about speed, but you can have these in your knuckle. I think it's a little quicker if you can hold them like that, but I don't want to scratch the rifle. So you can put these between your fingers, and you can have more ammo available, right? For example, I can take out that 2-liter right there. Cock it, pull out another round, put him in so the round is right there, and I can take out this jug. But you know what? We're going to get a shower if we shoot it from too close here, John. So let's just pop him right here. Oh boy, that was a litter container, kitty litter container. I got one more in my hand, so I might as well shoot something with it. And I guess I've done in all the jugs. So let's go over there and pop that square plate on the last shot. We'll give Mr. Gong a break, not destroy him. Boom. There we go. So now I have a Ruger No.1. They were going to call this the Victorian, as I understand, and they changed their mind. I think it was the official designation was No.1, and it kind of stuck. And yeah, I don't think I told you that they came up with the design in 1966, and I think they were not available on the market until 1967. So, you know, again, it's a newer firearm, but again, based on the old 1872 Farquharson and some of the other maybe British falling blocks. So, but it is a newer design always, and the cartridge came out, the 338 Win Mag, in 1958, I believe, in the Winchester Model 70 Alaskan. Okay, so that's where it originated. So it was around, this cartridge, the 338, was around almost 10 years before the Ruger No.1. So they're chambered in everything you can imagine. And I will say, maybe many of you would have possibly more interest in a single shot like this, a modern, more modern maybe, single shot, than the array of historical single shots I'm always bringing out, right? The Sharps or the Remington rolling blocks and some of those, I don't know. You might, and I've been kind of the opposite. It's taken a while for this to grow on me enough to want to own one, whereas you might be just the opposite. You know, this might be one like this or something like this might be your cup of tea. You know, just wow, yeah, you love Ruger and a No.1, a single shot, looks like it'd be fun. You know, so, you know, I mean, we haven't totally ignored it, but you know, it's just that I personally have not moved on one. That tells you something, doesn't it? Because I have moved on a lot of firearms in my life. Well, I'm glad to have one now, and like I said, I really couldn't care less or one way or the other on the commemorative aspect of it with the NRA, but being a limited edition firearm. But I just like having it. They're nicely made, beautiful wood. And if you know how to shoot, you practice, you're focused, you're deliberate, guess what? One shot is probably enough, especially a big shot like this one, 338 Win Mag. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.